Okay, so I officially finished watching the Meghan Markle documentary, and I have decided that the only way to hate that show is if you are someone who always believes gossip that you're told and you think that that is true about another person without realizing that there's more to the story, because there is no way that you can watch that show and find things to not like about her. Like, it's the most unproblematic thing. I'm like, I want sprinkle flowers now. I want to go make these little sandwiches. I want to do my omelet like that. It's the cutest show ever. But I even found myself as I was watching the show, I was like, oh, I don't love that she said that. I don't love da-da-da. But then I was like, wait, why am I picking apart every single thing that she says? That's really weird. I don't do that with anyone else. And then I was like, oh, it's because of the media. Oh yeah, duh. It's actually not weird at all that she corrected Mindy on saying that her last name was Sussex. Like, can you imagine? You've been friends with someone, they've been married for 5-10 years, you're over at their house, and you're like, hey, so-and-so Smith. And they're like, oh, no, actually, I got married 10 years ago. My last name is this. Like, that's actually not rude of them to say at all. Like, at all. Anyway, I thought it was the cutest show ever. And now I love how she just took simple things that we all have and just turned them into beautiful things in like 2 seconds. Those are the type of baking shows that I love. If anything, this has just made me more aware of how grapeist our country is. It's actually really sad how many people are and don't even realize.
Hello and welcome to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today we're peeling back the curtain on a narrative that's been woven into the fabric of our society by the UK media. We're talking about none other than Meghan Sussex, a woman who has been subjected to an unwarranted storm of criticism. But where does this criticism stem from? Is it genuine, or is it a product of media manipulation? Let's delve into the details of this media manipulation and its effects. Now, consider this. What has Meghan Sussex actually done to merit such levels of hatred? Has she committed a crime? Or is her only offense being a successful, independent woman who chose love above all else, refusing to be silenced by societal norms and expectations? If you're scratching your head for an answer, you're not alone. And that's precisely the point. The animosity directed towards Meghan Sussex isn't spontaneous or organic. It's a well-oiled machine, crafted and fueled by the UK media. Their arsenal, false narratives, half-truths, and out-of-context quotes, repeated ad nauseum until they become the truth in the public's eye. And what's the result? A populace convinced that Meghan is a villain without really knowing why. The harsh truth is that most of Meghan's critics don't have a substantial reason to dislike her. They're parroting the lies and distortions spoon-fed to them by a media machine that thrives on destruction. It takes a woman who has done nothing wrong and twists every aspect of her life to create a villain, all to serve their own agenda. This isn't journalism. It's a well-coordinated, deliberate campaign of propaganda. The British tabloids profit off of hate, and Meghan Sussex has been their biggest target. And why? Because she's different, because she's outspoken, because she's a strong woman who refuses to be controlled. The sad reality is that many of the people hating Meghan don't even know why they do. They can't name a single thing she's actually done wrong. They've been conditioned to dislike her, to see her as a villain, and that, dear listener, is the power of media manipulation. So, let's be clear. Meghan Sussex is not the villain here. The UK media is. They've created a narrative of hatred and have effectively manipulated the public into buying it. Most of Meghan's haters are simply echoing the lies and distortions spoon-fed to them by the UK media. But why would the media do this? The answer lies in the nature of the beast itself. The UK media thrives on destruction, controversy, and most importantly, profits. Yes, you heard it right. Profits. Those tantalizing headlines, the scandalous stories. They aren't just there to keep you informed. They are there to keep you hooked, to keep you coming back for more, and to keep the wheels of their profit machine turning. In a world where clicks equate to cash, the more outrageous the story, the better. And who better to target than Meghan Sussex? A woman who dares to defy the status quo, who refuses to be just another silent figurehead. Meghan's refusal to conform, to play by the outdated rules of an institution steeped in tradition, made her the perfect target for their smear campaigns. This relentless targeting isn't just about keeping the public entertained. It's about selling a narrative that keeps the public coming back for more. It's about spinning tales so twisted, so enthralling, that you can't help but click on that headline, and each click, each share, each comment lines the pockets of the media moguls who sit at the top. But the cost of these profits is far too high. It's a cost paid in the form of a woman's reputation, her peace of mind, and her right to live her life without being vilified at every turn. Meghan Sussex has paid this price and continues to do so, all because she dared to be different, dared to speak out, and dared to be a strong, independent black woman in a world that often tries to silence such voices. The media's relentless pursuit of profits has turned into a ruthless, profit-driven propaganda machine, one that doesn't care about the truth or the damage it inflicts. It only cares about the bottom line. This isn't journalism, it's a ruthless, profit-driven propaganda. The power of media manipulation is such that many Meghan haters don't even know the reason for their animosity. It's a testament to the insidious prowess of the media that people have been conditioned into disliking Meghan Sussex, a woman who has done nothing more than live her life on her own terms. This phenomenon isn't a spontaneous eruption of hatred. It's the result of a carefully orchestrated campaign by the UK media to paint Meghan Sussex in the worst possible light. Every story, every headline, every photo is meticulously selected and framed in a way that feeds into this negative narrative. The media, much like a puppet master, pulls the strings of public opinion. They take innocuous events and twist them into scandalous affairs. They take Meghan's words out of context, distorting their meaning to fit their narrative. They understand the power of repetition and use it to their advantage, repeating their false narrative so often that they become ingrained in the public consciousness. The media's manipulation doesn't stop at mere distortion. They also employ techniques like omission, focusing on negative aspects while conveniently ignoring the positive, thereby creating a skewed perception. They know that the absence of information can be just as powerful as its presence. This manipulation is not accidental. It's a deliberate strategy aimed at controlling public opinion. The media profits from the controversy they create, and Meghan Sussex, unfortunately, has been their prime target. The result of this manipulation is a conditioned response from the public. People dislike Meghan Sussex without knowing why, without being able to pinpoint a specific reason. Their animosity is a learned response, instilled in them by the relentless media campaign against Meghan. That's the power of media manipulation. It's a force that shapes public opinion, that dictates who we love and who we hate. It's a force that has been wielded with devastating effect against Meghan Sussex. The media has successfully spun a narrative where Meghan Sussex is the villain. But it's time we pause, question, and recognize the real villain in this story, the UK media. But we need to break free from this manipulation and think for ourselves. Isn't it time we question the narratives that have been spoon-fed to us over the years? The stories that shape our opinions, the headlines that stir our emotions, the articles that sway our beliefs, are they really the truth, or are they just well-crafted tales spun by a media machine that profits from our outrage? Imagine for a moment, if you will, that you're reading a tabloid. You see a headline about Meghan Sussex. What's your immediate reaction? Is it anger, disgust, contempt? Now ask yourself this. Why? What has Meghan Sussex really done to deserve such negative feelings from you? Can you think of a concrete, valid reason? Or are your emotions simply a reflection of the narrative you've been fed? We need to challenge ourselves to see past the headlines, past the half-truths and outright lies. We need to seek the truth, not just accept what's handed to us. We need to stop letting tabloids dictate who we should love and who we should hate. After all, isn't it our right to form our own opinions based on facts, not fiction? The outrage against Meghan Sussex is manufactured. It's a product, a commodity, sold to us by a media that thrives on our anger, our indignation. But we're not just consumers. We're not mindless puppets, manipulated by the strings of the press. We're individuals, capable of critical thinking, capable of discerning right from wrong, truth from lies. So, let's not fall for the trap. Let's not buy into the manufactured outrage. Let's not allow ourselves to be pawns in a game of media manipulation. Let's question, let's challenge, let's think for ourselves. Because when we do, we'll see the truth. Meghan Sussex is not the villain in this story. The UK media is. In conclusion, the hatred against Meghan Sussex is a product of calculated media manipulation. We've explored how the UK media has used its influence to fabricate a villain out of a woman who dared to be herself. They've twisted her words, taken her actions out of context, and bombarded the public with false narratives, all in a bid to turn her into a scapegoat for their own agendas. This is not journalism. It's a propaganda machine that thrives on the destruction of reputations and profits off of hate. They've taken a woman who has committed no real offence and made her the biggest target of their smear campaigns. But we've also seen the power of critical thinking. Many of those who hate Meghan Sussex can't even articulate why. They've been conditioned to dislike her, not through any fault of her own, but because of the relentless, baseless attacks by the UK media. It's a stark reminder of the importance of independent judgment. We must not allow ourselves to be puppets of the media, blindly accepting their narratives without question. Instead, we should strive to think for ourselves, to look beyond the headlines and the gossip, and to form our own opinions based on facts, not fabrications. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our video to spread the word about the UK media's manipulation tactics.